turn rugged field stone into a food-safe backsplash with a simple oil seal. Most people walk past river pebbles without a second thought. But in Anatolia, these smooth stones have been used for centuries in hammams and courtyards because they don't crack in heat, they don't absorb stains easily, and they age beautifully. The secret isn't the stone itself, it's what you do to it after it's cut. Turkish brand Anatolia Tile manufactures natural stone mosaic collections specifically for kitchen backsplashes. Their Harmony tan stacked pebble mosaics are natural stones mounted on mesh, each pebble about 20 millimeters high, too small for our 100 millimeter tile vision. But larger format river pebble mosaics from Turkey come in 300 by 300 millimeter sheets with varied pebble sizes. So the raw material exists, we just need to size it up. Here's the critical distinction most DIY guides get wrong. When you buy a pebble mosaic sheet, those stones are already cut flat on one side and polished on the face, but they are still highly porous. If you install them as is, every splash of olive oil or tomato sauce will leave a permanent dark stain within minutes. You need to seal them, not from the surface, but from within. This is where boiled linseed oil enters the picture. It's a traditional treatment for porous natural stone and terracotta that penetrates deep into the mineral structure. Unlike synthetic sealers that sit on top and eventually peel, linseed oil polymerizes. It reacts with oxygen and forms a solid, water-resistant matrix inside the stone. The result is a finish that's matte, breathable, and actually gets harder with time. The chemistry is straightforward but unforgiving. Boiled linseed oil is not the same as raw linseed oil. Raw oil takes weeks to dry. Boiled oil contains metallic dryers that accelerate polymerization to about 12 to 24 hours per coat. You apply a thin coat, let it penetrate, wipe off the excess, and wait. Then you repeat. Some terracotta tiles in restoration projects need 4 to 5 coats before they reach full saturation. A greenhouse restoration project documented in the Tile and Stone Journal used boiled linseed oil on terracotta and found that 1 to 2 coats achieved basic saturation, but handmade tiles, which are more porous, needed 4 to 5 coats to become fully water-resistant. The final step was waxing for additional protection. For a kitchen backsplash, you want at least 3 coats of oil, then a buffing with a natural wax to lock in the finish. Now let's talk about the 100 millimeter dimension. That's roughly 4 inches, large enough to show the natural grain and color variation of each stone, but small enough to fit standard backsplash heights. Cutting river pebbles into uniform squares requires a wet saw with a diamond blade, because the stone is dense and can fracture unpredictably. You don't need a stone yard. A small tile saw from a rental shop will do the job for a single weekend project. The cutting process reveals something unexpected. River pebbles are not uniform inside. They often contain hidden veins of calcite or iron oxide that only appear after the surface is removed. This means your 100 millimeter tiles will have subtle color shifts: pale cream, warm terracotta, even faint olive or gray streaks. That's not a defect. It's the character that makes natural stone distinct from mass-produced ceramic. Once cut, you need to dry fit the tiles on the wall before applying any adhesive. This is the moment where you decide the layout, whether to stagger the joints like brickwork, align them in a grid, or create a random pattern that mimics the riverbed origin. Because the stones are all slightly different sizes after cutting, a staggered layout is more forgiving and hides the variation better than a rigid grid. For adhesive, use a white thin-set mortar designed for natural stone. Gray mortar can bleed through and alter the color of lighter stones. Apply the mortar with a notched trowel and press each tile firmly into place, tapping gently with a rubber mallet to ensure full contact. Work in small sections because the mortar dries quickly in warm kitchens, about 15 to 20 minutes of working time before it skins over. After the mortar cures for 24 hours, you grout the joints. Use a grout color that matches the lightest stone in your tile set, usually a warm cream or sand tone. Dark grout will create a high-contrast grid that fights with the natural texture of the stone. Light grout lets the pebbles' inherent variation become the visual feature, not the grid lines. Wait another 48 hours before applying any oil. Now comes the linseed oil treatment. Warm the oil slightly before application, never over a flame, just set the container in warm water for 10 minutes. Warm oil penetrates deeper and faster. Apply with a soft cloth or a foam brush, working in circles to push the oil into every microscopic pore. You'll see the stone darken immediately as it absorbs the first coat. That's the stone drinking its protective seal. Wait 12 hours. Wipe off any oil that hasn't penetrated. It will feel tacky if left on. Apply the second coat. Again, wait 12 hours. Apply the third. You'll notice the stone takes longer to absorb each subsequent coat because the pores are filling. For a kitchen backsplash that will face daily splashes, 3 coats are the minimum. 4 coats are better, and 5 coats will give you a surface that resists red wine, coffee, and tomato sauce with just a quick wipe. The final step is a light waxing. Use a natural beeswax or carnauba wax, apply a thin layer with a soft cloth, let it haze over for about 20 minutes, then buff it to a low sheen. This wax layer adds another barrier against moisture and makes the surface easier to clean. It also deepens the color slightly, bringing out the iron oxide warmth in the stone, a transformation that turns a humble river pebble into something that looks intentionally luxe. How does this compare to conventional ceramic or porcelain backsplash tiles? Porcelain is impervious to water out of the box, but it's flat and lacks texture. Glass tiles are shiny but show every fingerprint and water spot. Natural stone with oil treatment has texture. You can feel the subtle bumps and ridges from the riverbed origin, and it changes with the light. In the morning, it reads creamy. At sunset, the terracotta veins glow. One caution: linseed oil is not a zero-maintenance finish. It's water-resistant, but not waterproof. You should reseal the backsplash every 18 to 24 months with a fresh coat of oil or wax. That's less frequent than the annual resealing required by some penetrating sealers, but more frequent than the never-touch-it approach of porcelain. The trade-off is tactile warmth and visual depth that no factory-made tile can replicate. The beauty of this project is that the material is local and abundant. River pebbles are collected from stream beds as a natural byproduct of erosion. No quarrying, no mining, just picking up what the water has already polished. Turkish manufacturers have been processing these into mosaic sheets for decades, so the supply chain is established. The only uncommon element is the willingness to treat stone like a living surface, not a dead panel. So here is the full cycle. A stone forms in a river, gets polished by water over centuries, is cut into a 100mm square, installed on a kitchen wall, soaked in linseed oil that polymerizes into a protective matrix, and then buffed with wax. The result is a backsplash that stops stains, repels moisture, ages gracefully, and tells a story that no mass-produced tile ever can. It's not faster than buying a box of ceramic, but it's infinitely more honest. Next time you see a smooth river stone, don't walk past it. Pick it up, cut it square, and let it live in your kitchen. Because the most durable surface isn't the one with the best warranty, it's the one with the oldest recipe.